Hey there guys, this is Rocky Red Panda. It is Wednesday on my channel, which means it's time for another awesome food review. But before we get into anything, do me a favor and like and subscribe. That's right, like and subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos here at P&D Studios. Hit it. And welcome back, guys. Again, my name is Rocky Red Panda. It is Wednesday, and Wednesdays we do food reviews. But guess what? Guess what? It is 2022. It is a new year, so this means it's the first new episode of the new year. This will be marking 3 years of me doing food reviews, which is pretty cool. I absolutely enjoy it. So we got a doozy for you this week. Yes, we're going to be talking about this place back here. This place is Sweeney's Tavern. It is part of the historic Farnsworth House, located in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. But before we go any further, don't take my word for it. Just watch this video. So, Sweeney's Tavern is located behind the historic Farnsworth House Inn and Restaurant. And the easiest way to assess it is, of course, by that alleyway that runs behind the Tavern House and, of course, that beautiful WellSpan Health building there in the back. Now, what makes Sweeney's Tavern so unique to Gettysburg? Well, two things. First off, they have one of the largest collections and memorabilia from the movie Gettysburg. That's right. So you have that adorning all the cases there inside the restaurant, and of course your placemat is a map which shows you what each of those individual artifacts are and tells you a little bit about each. Like, oh look, there's the jacket Martin Sheen wore. Yeah, and there's the teacup so and so drank from. It's cool. But what also makes them different is they're the only restaurant in town that serves peanut goober soup. Now, for those that don't know what peanut goober soup is basically creamy peanut butter soup. That's what we know it as today. Now, to talk a little bit history behind this soup, this goes all the way back to the 1700s. Most likely, this recipe would have been brought over by African slaves who were brought over to America. I've looked at other recipes, and there are some recipes that are similar to this within the African culture, especially down in Ghana. Now, peanut goober soup, as we know it, back then was supposedly a favorite of Mr. George Washington, to where, rumor has it, he had this soup every single day. Now, I could not eat this soup every single day. I mean, it's great, but that's just me. It didn't become creamy peanut butter soup because until many, many years later. You have to think of George Washington Carver. He invented peanut butter as we know it, and the rest is history. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Yes, please. But it is a really good and hearty soup, and I usually just go to Sweeney's Tavern just for the soup alone. Now, what other things did he have on their menu? Well, of course, they have a plethora of other stuff you can order off the menu. Burgers, salads. But the one thing that I did get that I have yet to try was their meatloaf. Last time I went, my friend got the meatloaf. I just got the soup. Boy, did it look good. So I got the meatloaf along with my mother, and wow. The only other place that has good meatloaf in town, of course, is Appalachian Brewing Company. But Sweeney's Tavern puts ABC to shame. Because ABC is a chain, so they had to make sure their meatloaf tastes exactly the same like every other restaurant of theirs. However, Farnsworth House, one and done tavern, and their meatloaf is absolutely delicious. What makes it unique is the flavoring, their seasoning, and their homemade gravy. My God, I love that homemade gravy. It just makes that meatloaf. I'm not a fan of meatloaf, but at Sweeney's Tavern, I can have that with my peanut goober soup any day. Now let's talk about the atmosphere. The atmosphere of the restaurant is unique. It's trendy, as I said. It's the only place in town that does have original artifacts from the movie Gettysburg on display, so it's cool to see that as you're eating and walking around. Now, the one thing my mother didn't like is, of course, as you exit out the door, they do have like a little giant statue of Union soldiers carrying a caisson as they're riding on horses. I thought that was cool. But the only other unique thing I like is when you're sitting by that window. My mother was so enthralled because she's like, oh, look at the birds. He has all these bird houses out there. But she found a squirrel. The squirrel was very friendly. The squirrel was watching us as we were eating and was trying to figure us out. But, eating while watching nature, that is cool. I love it. So, let's talk about you guys' perks, because you guys want to know perks. Well, the perks of Sweeney's Tavern. What about parking? What about handicap accessibility? All of the above. Yes, 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 and yes. Parking is on spot. Again, it's located in the alley behind Sweeney's Tavern. They do have handicap parking. And there are no stairs going in. They do have a ramp, so you just walk up the ramp and boom, in you go. So you're set to go. What about gluten-free and vegetarian options? Yes, they have both of those on the menu. Now, what about the price point? Well, you can expect the price point to be anywhere from $1 all the way up to, say, $15 or so dollars. Maybe up to $20, depending on what you get. So, price is very reasonable for what you're ordering here. Now, what about the wait staff? Well, the wait staff is great. They're attentive. They're on time. Food is made quickly. It gets out to you in a timely manner. It's hot. It's juicy. It's ready. Now, during the week, it's going to be less busy than if you go, say, on the weekend. So I'd say recommend going on a Monday through Friday. Now, during the winter hours, if you looked online, January and February, they're closed 3 days a week, and they're open the rest of the week. So kind of keep that in mind. So with everything combined that I mentioned, the wait staff, the great food, the great atmosphere. Oh, look, a squirrel. Yes, my ADHD mind. Stuff like that. I'm going to give Sweeney's Tavern a wonderful... It's going to get a 9 out of 10. Yay! Thank you guys. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. And if you have yet to try Sweeney's Tavern, definitely check it out the next time you're in Gettysburg. Now, I want to hear your reviews of Sweeney's Tavern. So if you've been to it, leave them in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you guys think of these restaurants, because what I usually do now is I do follow-ups. I give it some time, then I go back and recheck them out. I'll film again, and I'm going to do a new series coming soon, because I just added it to the end of my last video, but I thought it's cool. I'm going to do a new series, basically my food review follow-ups, which I'm going to follow up with these restaurants to see how they're doing and talk with the owners and see how things go. That's kind of what I do, because I want to make sure I'm helping support the local community by bringing in more people to the restaurant. And, of course, letting you guys know where there's good places to eat. So what is coming up next week? Well, next week we're going to Hanover, Pennsylvania. And we're going to be talking about Dutch Country. That's right. So Dutch Country opened in 1930. It wasn't called Dutch Country back then. In 1940, it moved to its current location. It's been through multiple different owners. But now we have what we now call Dutch country today. Good food, but definitely stick around and check it out. But for now, you guys, this is Rocky Red Panda, signing out for this week's food review. Until next week, I'll catch you later. Good eats.